Hi everybody, thank you for joining me on the launch of my new channel. We're going to be kicking it off today with a comparison video of 3 of my favourite simulation games focusing on character creation. So we're going to be kicking off with The Sims 4, then we're going to follow on with inZOI, and then take a little look at the newest release, super early access, Paralives. So please enjoy, and I would love you to let me know in the comments what one's your favourite and why. So let's kick off with The Sims 4 and see what we've got here. There is a really quirky feature right at the start where you can create your Sims story by answering some questions. You'll get a pre-made sim with some pre-made traits, but I personally prefer to create them from scratch. So looking through everything here, there's already a good start. We've got a lot of options for their gender, romantic boundaries, sexual orientation and pronouns, which is really good and really inclusive. It really gives you the option to edit your sim how you want them. Their walk styles are a feature that I find really quirky. Some of the walks, like this one, they really get me every time. Their walks do depend on their moods and they can change, but those are their baseline walks. Again, with any characterization, you have a lot of aspirations for them. It really shapes their personalities, their preferences, all their likes and dislikes. There's so many to choose from as well to really make them unique. And obviously you get their turn-ons and turn-offs as well, so if you want them to be attracted to a certain type of sim or run screaming in the other direction from another type of sim, there's a lot of options that you can get there as well. Same with their traits, there's loads of different traits that you can pick from to really just make them individuals and unique little sims. I tend to stick to the same ones because creature of habit, but I really should start branching out because there are some really good ones here. You do have some that are specific to certain packs that we have on. I do have quite a lot of packs added on just now, so there are quite a lot of traits in there. Even on the base game there's a lot. If you want to play as a ghost as well, you can pick their cause of death that shapes their ghost, but again, personally, I do prefer to play live sims, just like the story mode a little bit better. So looking at the customization, there aren't any sliders as such, it is more of a drag and pull mechanic. You do get a lot of pre-mades as well that you can just play with, but if you do want to edit them about, you can do. You can actually do quite a lot with the drag and pull mechanic, and you can also go into the TTL edit mode that lets you just do a little bit more on it that you can't do from the standard edit screen, just to give them that little bit of a standout look. You can have them looking as wacky as you want or as sort of standard as you want. It's completely up to you what you want to do with them. There's so many different options. I do like this feature with the eyes where you can adjust their pupil size and iris size. I think that's really cool. It's not something I've really seen in games before, so it gives them that really standout look. But yeah, moving on to their bodies, again there's preset bodies here. You can do the drag and pull method, and there's also a couple of sliders at the side for giving them their muscle mass, their body fat mass, and you can just adjust it as and how you want it. It's not set in stone, like I say, you can tweak it to make it personal, however you want your sim to look. Another feature is the arm hair, leg hair, chest hair and back hair. So you can switch the enable growth on and off. If you switch on, your sim does have the option to shave in the shower, which is quite cool. So it makes it a little bit more realistic. The tattoos I do love. I just wish you could move them around the body. The only option you really have for that is the paint mode, where you can put on pre-made stencils, or you can actually go on and you can fill an entire leg. There is an option to do the stencils here where it will just tattoo the outline parts, or you can just go on and fully just draw whatever you want on them. I'm not the best artist in the world, so I tend to not do that one and use the pre-mades. It would just be better if you can move them around the body. The base layer is a newer feature to the game, which is really good. It allows you to add vests, t-shirts, under jumpers and jackets, and it just gives you a little bit more freedom with how you want them to look. Personally, I prefer that style than just the bra under the jacket. I don't know if that's because I live in Scotland, so, you know, going out dressed like that makes me freezing cold. I wouldn't do it. But there's quite a bit. You can give them their fingernails, you can adjust their teeth, their skin colours to whatever skin colour you want them to be, even if it's green or blue. Lots of freckles and different skin marks and body marks. There's loads of stuff you can do to make them stand out. I do wish we had a colour wheel where we could adjust the colours so that we can maybe have highlights. But the colour options that we've got, there is a variety there. So yeah. What I'm going to do for the purposes of these videos is I am going to make a husband and wife couple, and then they will be the characters that I play, so I will try and recreate them in both inZOI and Paralives. So yeah, I'll go and create them now and be right back. Alright, so here is Molly Smith. She is going to be our female sim for the purpose of these videos. I think she looks quite cute. She's pretty basic, pretty relaxed. I kind of like it. I've given her all of her traits and she wants to be a family woman. Oh wait, we should really adjust that walk because we can't have her looking like a vampire the entire time. I do love this feature where you can choose their relationship, how close they are, what sort of relationship they've got. Her and her husband David are going to be wholesome and close. And yeah, this is David. He's Molly's husband. So we'll try and recreate the both of them in inZOI and Paralives. Please bear with me though, I haven't played those games as much. But I'll see you in inZOI. Alright, let's have a look at our inZOI character creation. So there's already quite a lot of good options here from the offset. It is a lot more detailed, I feel, than The Sims, and it is the game out of the three that I have played the least, so please bear with me as we go through this and look at everything. But looking at their traits and characteristics, I do feel like the options for this are really good. You have your overall sort of trait, and then you have your two characteristics that you can choose to go with it as well. Some of them, I believe, are sort of blocked out depending on the trait that you choose. The ambition side of it, there's loads to choose from here as well. Shows you their goals that they'll have to achieve throughout the levels to reach their ambition. I think that's really cool. There's a lot of different things in here. And the desired life is definitely a feature that I haven't really seen before. It might be out there, but it's not something I've come across. There's so many different options in it as well, just to make your ZOI that little bit more unique. And yeah, there's too many to choose from to go through them all individually, but it is a feature that I do really like. So looking at the types of creations that you can do, there's a lot of presets here. So you can pick your preset outfits, your preset ZOIs. They're super detailed as well. Obviously this game has a completely different art style from The Sims and Paralives. It's so realistic, it does take a little bit of getting used to. And again, apologies for the camera movements. When you're jumping between three games that are completely different, it takes a little bit of getting used to. But so as we can see on this one, I had my preset ZOI and I put on a preset outfit onto them just to have a little look at the options that are out there. There's so many different styles of clothing that we've got here. We've got our everyday, our formal, party wear, sleepwear. There's a school one and a work uniform one which I haven't really explored before. Something that I'll probably go into in the future. So yeah, for this part I couldn't actually remember how to just remove the hair to allow us to see the face, so apologies for the delays on that there. Again, learning. But when we go into the detail mode on this, it is super detailed. There are so many little dots that you can go onto here to select stuff. The hair is just amazing, it's so realistic, and I love the fact that something as simple as when you turn your ZOI, the hair turns as well. Something so daft that most people would probably overlook, but I love it. And I have to admit, the colour slider was a big win for me. The amount of freedom and creativity that you can have with it is just unreal. The beard and the mustache mechanic I thought was really different, so you can have just a mustache, you can have just a beard, or you can have the wolf to create the full look. I thought that was really quite interesting. Again, it's a mechanic I haven't really seen very often. loads of different skin colours here, loads of different skin types as well. It really does have that full-blown freedom of character customization. I feel like you could spend hours creating a ZOI. So I did say that I wanted slider bars. We have so many slider bars. Everything is just so detailed. It's the most minute changes that you can see on their face, but it makes a huge difference. Again, with the body marks, skin marks, freckles, scars, there's so much you can do on this. And the bandages. I thought the bandages were really cute. Especially them. So the eyes that we have here is so many different styles. They don't change the eye look as such. It's more the colour and the style of the actual iris itself. But you can tweak so much in it, make them really bright, make them really dark. I could not figure out the mechanic there for moving the colour, so again, ignore that. I'm so used to the Sims mechanics. Even the makeup, there's so many options on it, it's just, you really could just spend an entire day just sitting and create a ZOI. Let's dive into this a bit more with the sort of, again, it's the drag and pull mechanic, but it feels so much more detailed. I feel like there's so much more to it. And this isn't even the full detailed mode, or the focus edit mode as they call it on inZOI. There's so much movement that you can do here, and it is unbelievable how the smallest little movement can completely change the way that your ZOI looks. I feel like you can adjust their age as well, so obviously we do still have the same age stages, however I feel like you can make them look younger and older just by the way that you do their face and body. Mechanics here are really interesting. I like the fact it's the same button for adjusting their torso, but depending on the way that your ZOI is facing will be the way that you're adjusting it. I thought that was quite interesting. It's not a separate bar. And again, your sliders for your muscle and your ZOI's physique. And of course, the body hair. Now, one thing that I loved with this is the intensity of it. There's so much more options on this than there was in the Sims games. And the fact that you can adjust the colour of their body hair as well to any colour that you really want it to be. The colour slider is a big thing in inZOI. So when we go into this basic editing, and then you can open up the detailed editing where you can see all of the dots on my ZOI's face are customizable. There is endless opportunities to make your ZOI look exactly how you want them to. There's such an urge for me to sit and create myself, my friends and my family, but I genuinely think I would lose an entire week if I spent that time trying to recreate everybody that I know. It would be an impossible task. I couldn't figure out the eye here or how to let go of that, so that is something that is going to take me a little bit of time to get used to. But once I got off it, I was just getting myself lost a little bit, and I had to come out because I was going to be in there all day. One thing that I would have liked to have seen would be a height slider, but I understand that the game isn't configured for that to work, and it would mess up some of the interactions available between ZOIs and just them interacting with furniture and whatnot, so I do appreciate that. As you can probably tell, that colour wheel is just my go-to. I'm just obsessed with it. I feel like the clothes on the ZOI's bodies just look more natural as well, especially just even the creases in certain things. It just makes a huge difference, and obviously the overlay for having a t-shirt on under your jackets, under shirts, under jumpers, that was already built in with the game. It wasn't something that we had to wait for it to come out, it was an already there feature. There's so many different clothes to choose from, and again, let's not forget this game is super early access as well. It is getting regular updates, and for where it is already, with it being, I believe, about a year old, I think we are now, or just over that, it's an amazing game. It has so much potential into it already, and when we go deeper into the game and looking at the build mechanics and the gameplay itself, there's so much I can't wait to show you guys. I just have to get past the character creation and not get stuck on that. There's a lot of features in this that I haven't explored as well, such as uploading your own designs and whatnot. That's purely because I haven't figured it out yet. If anybody wants to discuss it in the comments and give me any pointers, I'm more than happy to take those on board. This was a quirky feature that I realised completely by accident just by pressing buttons. I thought that was quite cool. I'm not entirely sure what the functionality is of it for having upside down glasses. As a glasses wearer myself, I would probably find that incredibly confusing. I love the nails. There's so many nails. Again, I'm also a trained nail technician, so I could spend all day just looking at nails. But the rings, the piercings, everything, it's so customizable. It's almost scary how good they've got this game for an early access game. So let's create our inZOI version of Molly and David Smith. So here is our lovely Zoe Molly Smith. I think she actually has quite a good likeness, and I'm quite pleased with how she turned out. Super realistic compared to her sim self, but yeah, I'm very happy with that, and she's even got similar traits as well. David, on the other hand, not as impressed with. I couldn't match his t-shirt, so I've just given him green buttons on the arms of his jumper, and his face I was getting close to spending about an hour and a half on trying to make it match, so I just gave up, and this is as good as I'm gonna get. So let's now take a little look at Paralives, and we will make some Parasmiths. Alright, so now we are on to super early access Paralives, which is really good so far. So this one has a quirky feature at the start where you can pick a storyteller who, as it says, they bring different challenges and different benefits to your game. So for the purpose of this one, we will go with the neutral gameplay mode of Maxence. And we will create our new household. So, completely different art style yet again. Now this one does have a feature that I love. It has a new age range. So we now have pre-teens, which is just something so simple, but it is something that I know a lot of simulation players, myself included, have been desperate for. It's just that extra life cycle. Again, all the pronouns are there, and you get the option to go in here to the advanced personality to make your para a little bit more unique. Now there's 4 voices as well as set, so we'll go for Silky for this one, and we'll go for young adult again. I like this feature as well, where you can give them a nickname, a middle name, or you can address them with their last name first. And there's loads of different options for everyday wear, which I did mean to touch upon in The Sims. That is something that you can also do in there, but it's not a feature I noticed in inZOI. Please correct me if I have missed that. So customization, there is a lot in this. Now this is the game I have played the least amount of time on, just with it being so new, so I am still learning, but we have a slider for height, which is absolutely amazing. It is something, again, so simple, but it makes the game just that little bit more unique, and I feel like it adds a lot of depth as well to it. The adjustments for everything on the body are really detailed. There's a lot of different options here, and you can give them a hunch as well, which I have never really noticed before. I actually learned quite a lot in just making this video about the game. I didn't know you could adjust the head position and neck length as well, so that was something brand new to me. There is a couple of preset bodies, again, like I say, that you can adjust. And you have all your different skin types here, skin colours. and you can adjust and create your own as well. Loads of different options here with the highlights, base skin colour, shadows, so much you can edit. And again, we have our body hair options as well. Now, it did take me a while to realise that if you do just want to adjust a setting that you've put on, you simply have to just click the box again. But there's so much and nothing is limited either. You can have your ZOI have any type of body that you want. And obviously there's additional body marks, body scars, freckles, whatever you want to have, any blemishes, anything. So we do have a couple of presets here, and we also have this mechanic for adjusting all of the features. So some of it is just a slider bar, and then some of it is the grid box as well, like you can see. But it will also leave a little circle just where it started off, so if you do make an error or if you amend something and think actually I don't like that, you do have the option to go back to exactly where you were. Obviously there's the undo button as well, but that does make it helpful. Now, I have noticed in this game as well, the position that you use for your facial features will impact the piercings that they have. They might make them stand out more, or they might hide them more. So it just depends on how you want them to be accessorized for how you do your facial features. There's a lot of quirky hair colours already there, but we do have a colour wheel again, which I'm just obsessed with. It gives you so much freedom to be as creative as you want. So many different options for facial wear, or facial hair I should say, and for hairstyles as well. And the makeup has quite a lot as well. I don't know why I chose that lipstick to demonstrate the colour wheel on, but I did, and we're sticking to it. So this is one of my favourite features. It's something we touched upon earlier with The Sims, was the tattoos. Now, one thing I love with this is you can actually adjust your tattoo. So you have your rotation here of how you want it to be. You've got the scale, you can flip it round, position, but you can drag and pull it to wherever you want it to go. Now, you do sometimes get the error saying that it might have to re-render just because of where you're placing it. Most of the time, I've noticed it does still work. Obviously, just don't do what I just did there and press the X button instead, because that will just remove what you've just done. So this feature also allows you to update your earrings. So if you want 2 earrings on each ear, you can do that. If you want something different, you do have the option to amend it, so as such, which I think is great. I have my paras having one headphone in quite a lot of the time. I listen to a lot of music, so I will have them doing the same. Clothing options, again, we have quite a few different varieties here. So I like the t-shirt, but you maybe want long sleeves under it. You have the ability to do that and change the colour, or you can tuck your clothes in or out. It's all the things that seem so silly and so simple, but they make a huge difference, especially when you're doing a life simulation game and you want your characters to be completely unique from anything you've seen before. And as I clicked accidentally there, but it does show, you can mismatch the socks as well. And I do love that feature that you can give them artificial limbs. I think that's so inclusive and just a really nice feature to have. And again, toenail paint and nail paint, or polish I should say, do come included in the game. Now remember, this is super early access as well. The game has not been out for long at all, so everything that we're seeing here is what came out with the game at launch. We still get to give them their points, so however you want them to be sort of achieving the best areas. You can give them their vibes, you can give them their social perks and their talents, and each one will impact how your para acts, how your para feels, and the emotions that they go through. And you get to pick if you want them to be a vegetarian, you can have them as an early bird or a night owl, and their cleaning habits, you can make them as normal, sloppy, or neat. So let's have a little look at our para smiths that we have made. So here we have our para Molly Smith. It's a decent likeness. It is the closest I was going to get. Again, it took me a while. I get too sucked into character creation. I could be here for hours. David, again, I cannot get the likeness of it, but he is as close as we are going to get. And do you know what? I think he looks pretty decent. So yeah, thank you all for joining me on that. And again, a huge welcome to my new gaming channel. We are going to continue on from our character customization builds, and the next video will be a comparison on the builds when I take on the fun challenge of building the Smiths the same house in The Sims, inZOI and in Paralives. So that will definitely be a fun challenge. Please let me know in the comments what game is your favourite for character customization so far, bearing in mind that both inZOI and Paralives are still in early access. A huge shout out to the Paralives developers as well. They have been absolutely on it with all the patches and updates, so that has been brilliant, and there is more to come, I believe, so there will be new updates going forward. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you all again in the next videos. Thank you so much. Bye guys!